Hi, this is Jarrett Buckelew with Caliber Garage Doors. We want to address one thing that we get frequent phone calls about, and it's especially when people have replaced a garage door. What's very easy to miss is when you come in and you replace this large of a moving object in your house, you have brand new components that have not experienced every dynamic that they're going to have in your home. On a dry day, a damp day, a hot day, a cold day, your garage door is experiencing resistance in different places than it would in any of the other circumstances. So very common when a new door is replaced, we recommend that you lubricate the door every 6 to 12 months as it experiences all the different dynamics it's going to experience in its life cycle. Usually after a couple of years of operation, the door has worn in, but it's still important to maintain this lubrication process at least on an annual basis, just to guarantee your door is going to operate quiet and operate smooth as it's going up and down. We want to focus on a few of the key points that are important for us to hit, and the first one would be the lubricant that we're going to use. This is a garage door specific lubricant. This can be picked up at a Home Depot, Lowe's, or any home improvement type store. The difference is we're not using WD-40. WD-40 would be a solvent. We have a lot of bearings that exist on new garage door systems, and they are grease packed. If we use a solvent, we're going to dissolve that and take a problem and make it worse instead of improving it, which is what we want to do here today. We want to really focus when we look at the door. If you have an older model, you'll notice that the rollers themselves are typically going to be black. If you have white rollers, it usually is an indicator that you have nylon ball bearing sealed rollers. That's what this one has. It tells you this is not a component that we're going to need to lubricate on this door. But if you do have the old bushing system, this is a good point. We want to look at anything that is going to be metal to metal contact. So on your hinge drums themselves are important places to lubricate. It's going to be on all of them. Another thing we're going to want to focus on is your center hinges are all going to be the same dynamic. The torsion spring that is up atop of the door is something that's often missed. This is a metal to metal component when your door goes up and down. If there's not lubrication built up in this is an area that's going to frequently cause noise. More is not necessarily better, but we want to focus on hitting the points that we need to hit. So like I said, we look at the metal on metal components where these things are going to hit. We want to do a light dab, come in on all of them. We want to make sure we wipe off the excess. You can tell on any old garage door, things happen, they get wet, but lubrication is something that's going to attract dust and cause problems for you if you're not careful in the cleanup portion. We want to hit every single metal component on the door itself. And then this is going to greatly help you. Perfect. So once we've gotten all of the hinges lubricated properly, that's a major component we want to focus on. But like I said, the spring up above the door is another big piece. This spring is winding and unwinding every time your door cycles up and down. So it is literally a metal on metal component that's going to contact. If you are vertically challenged, you may want to get yourself a little bit of a step stool. What you're going to want to do is a liberal coating on the spring. We're going to hit each one of them. And then obviously, again, we want to come back in and wipe off the excess. This is very important because you don't want to have drips coming back down. Another piece that's going to be important to hit, your cable system. These do end up being metal on metal components because as this drum winds up, these cables are getting close to each other. Again, you don't want to go overboard, but a light bit of lubrication on the drum system itself, wiped in to clean up any residual dust and everything else is going to be very helpful. We want to make sure we get both sides. And then the final aspect, depending on the age of your operating system, is the motor rail itself. This is an important one to not be over liberal on, but if you have an older screw drive mechanism, you have an older chain drive mechanism, this trolley itself actually slides and can be a metal on metal component. I'll sometimes recommend that you actually lubricate your rag and then wipe onto the bottom of the rail system itself. Again, step stools can be very helpful. You don't want to do too much because this is a portion where when your door is going up and down, it can actually drip lubrication down. Not good for vehicle paint. We don't want to have anything like that happen. The final piece I want to make very clear when you're doing this is the operation of the garage door is what's going to allow this lubrication to work in. So once you've done this process, allow your door to function on a normal basis for a week's time. You'll notice each time it's going up and down, you're going to hear an improvement and a decrease in the amount of noise. You can immediately cycle the door up and down 5 or 6 times after you've completed this. That'll also allow it to work in. But again, if you have a brand new garage, this is something you want to be doing every 6 months, at least for the first couple of years. If you have a door that's been in place for an extended period of time, annually is about how this is recommended. Thank you again for tuning in. Hopefully this is helpful and can answer some of your questions you have about how to properly lubricate your garage door.